Where the Gator Bowl once stood, now stands this facility. TIAA Bank Field. As EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Jacksonville, Florida. Tanner Brown ready to get this one going. And we're underway from Everbank Stadium. Chooses to bring this one out. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
An offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on 3rd and short.
1 yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. He keeps it himself. And that'll be enough for the first as they touch him down.
Certainly drop these quarterback keepers anticipating a whole lot more yardage. But I think it could be overlooked there since they did pick up the 1st down. If anything, they can see what kept it to a small gain over there on the sidelines, and they'll come back to it on the next set of downs.
Here's ETN on 1st down. He'll cobble together a yard there. Tracked down by Robert Spillane. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain. It'll be a gain of 5. They still need 4 on 3rd down.
Hey, that's a pretty modest pickup for a QB keeper. On a traditional handoff, you'll take that yardage, but those QB keepers, so many times, they're really designed, Kate, for chunk plays in mind, double digits, and they nearly got it there.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4.
Hey, Lion.
Lawrence working from the gun. Escapes the pocket. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Trying it right side with ETN. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
Into the hands of Duvernay. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Connection made. Travis Etienne. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get him enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Now a give to Etienne running right. And he may have just reached the edge of the red zone before going down. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Has him on the quick hitter. They touch him down as he finds enough to pick up the first.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Now a give. It's Etienne headed left. Takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars finish up an excellent opening series. Travis Etienne, the touchdown. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. He's going to loft one deep to the left. His first throw is an interception. Picked off by Andre Sisco. And the Jaguars are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season.
You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life. Really on both sides of the ball. Well, you watch defensive coaches preach all the time, and they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block. And then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick 6, yeah, it stinks for the offense. But that was the practice field coming to life for everybody to see.
Inside handoff goes to Etienne. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 27 on the play. And that's a Jaguar 1st down. Lawrence now off the play action. He gets this one to Strange. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play.
That's good for a Jaguars.
So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the 1st quarter. 7-0 is our score. Back to Everbank Stadium in just a bit. We're back for the start of the second quarter. Jaguars have the ball and a chance at 6. They'll run, Etienne. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1.
Hey, Lion.
Etienne. He can't push it across. They make the stand, and looks like they might have stopped him a little bit behind the line, too.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Man in motion, out of the slot. They're going to run with Etienne. And he's in for the touchdown. The Jaguars pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Travis Etienne, the touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
That one splits the uprights. And the Jaguars double their lead to 14. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Returning it from the 4. This return makes it up to the 25. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Trying the right side. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that gives the Browns a 1st.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few. He got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Dropping back to throw. That's going to be caught. Tony Pollard. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Cleveland 1st down.
I'm sure Coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10. Ball set up at the 48. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. The former #1 pick, Trayvon Walker, on the stop. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
To the air, 3rd and long. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. Call it 32 yards on the punt. And it'll be Jaguars football. First and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, ETN gets it. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Tracked down by Robert Spillane. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Now it's Lawrence. That's incomplete, trying to set up the screen there.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He lofts it deep left. And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, oh, he just couldn't quite hang on.
And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Call that one a 44-yard punt. And the Browns will go on offense. First down, ball at the 36. Takes the handoff, now to throw. Right side and in the hands of Allen. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Throwing now from the gun. Completed to his running back. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him, turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. He's dropping back to throw. Pass taken in by Pollard. And he's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or two short of the 25.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Second and 3. Complete out to the right side. And he's going to take this one in for the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns make it a one-score game before halftime. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he can rumble the whole way home.
Kate, think of getting somebody with that type of mass rolling at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in the way, wants to stop him anyhow? The answer, nobody.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. From his own end zone, here we go. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. They're out and set, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He puts some power on a deep one left. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it sets up 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Lawrence trying again on 2nd. That's taken in by Etienne. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
First down throw, Lawrence. He'll get this to Etienne. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
First and 10, it's Lawrence. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. Looking for his wide receiver there. So 2nd down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Second and 10. Here's Lawrence. On the move, headed right. He's on the move. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. The Jaguars are going to call their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Fits it through the middle. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. A timeout taken by Jacksonville. It's second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. They're now set for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And this is caught. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars will add to their lead at the end of the half. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Return starts at the 3. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on 1st down. Looking to throw. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. That's complete inside the 35. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. First carry here for Tony Pollard. And he'll knife his way through for a pickup of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 34. Caught by Pollard. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. Shotgun now on 3rd down. He has the first over the middle. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs. They'll come up 1st and 10. Raheem Morris finds an official, and he gets a timeout in before the play clock runs out. As that'll leave him with just 2 to use the rest of the way. New set of downs for him from the 46. Throwing now on 1st down. Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball, left side.
That was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Second and 10 now. The pass ball is incomplete, but was there a reason for it? We see a flag out there. Well, we knew it, Brock, and now they know it too. That one was on their defense. A fresh set of downs after that penalty. Here's 1st and 10. He'll throw it yet again. Completed to Pollard. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Tyson Campbell, the man on that tackle. Working quickly here. Here's 2nd and 7. Has it downfield, working the left. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. Looking right, and he finds him. Touchdown, Cleveland. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play. Right? When you don't have to settle for field goals, you could throw it underneath, and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
That one right down the middle. And the Browns chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Chooses to bring this one out. This isn't even going to make the 20. The coverage team gets to him.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a give to ETN. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. That was Martin Emerson with a stop that time. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
13, Luke.
Lawrence working from the gun. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
I don't fault the look downfield at all. I mean, that's just a situation there where it's a better defensive play than the offense executing.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Out of the gun, Lawrence. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice gain. No luck finding his receiver that time. And now they're staring at 4th and long. The Jaguars into punt formation. And he's only a handful of yards from his own goal line. And he doesn't put much height or distance on this one. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. It'll go down as a 37-yard punt. And it'll be their football. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. They'll throw to begin this drive. It is caught left side. And looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Roger McCreary brings him down that time.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
From the 41. He's on the move. That's completed right side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. And that gives the Browns a first. Working inside the red zone. Has it down close. That's a Cleveland touchdown. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
Brown now for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Browns tie this game at 21. So they tag him for roughing the kicker. And now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft in and try to stick him deep. Now Brown on to send it away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Now give this up the middle to ETN. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. They go right back to ETN. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Here he is on 3rd and long. He fires one deep down the middle. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. We're through 3 on this holiday weekend. It's all knotted up at 21. Plenty of scoring here as we begin the final quarter. So the complexion of this drive has changed dramatically now. New set of downs inside the 35. This is Etienne. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Big man up front said, not in my house. Let me tell you, Kate, once you're in the grasp of one of those big old fellas on the D-line, you're done. They would say it on the East Coast like this. It's over. Over.
From the shotgun, Lawrence has him on the quick hitter. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Third and just 2 to go.
Take right open. Here we go.
Now a carry by Etienne. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. And now we'll get a pause here. Trainer's headed out to take a look at an injured player. Let's hope it isn't anything that's going to keep him from finishing this season strong. Kicked well, and this is good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, I tell you what, you get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And this drive will start inside the 25. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now a give running right. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Throwing now off play action. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Trying to find his tight end. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Back to throw. He lofts it deep left. He's got it deep downfield. And he's going to take this one in for the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns take a 4th quarter lead. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
That one splits the uprights. And the Browns take a 4-point lead. Now Brown on to send it away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Hey, Lion!
Here's ETN to begin the drive. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
2nd and 3 now.
Decent 24. Big 13 heavy.
ETN again. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. He keeps it himself. And that'll be enough for the 1st as they touch him down.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that 1st by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
First and 10, it's Lawrence. Taking a deep shot here. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection.
You hear defensive coaches preach this all the time about not giving up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. They're going to need to stay vigilant because he's definitely a receiver who can take the lid off of a defense.
The screen pass falls incomplete. Looking for the back that time. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Looking to throw. Short pass brought in. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Offense up to the line fast.
A gain of 5. It's 4th down.
11, Agate. Go. Think right. Check, boys. Get a few yards to this punt.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. Cut out left. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. And they do not get a desperately needed 1st down. He doesn't make it, and they still trail after the turnover on downs. This will be the last play before our 2-minute warning. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They've jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag. There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost them 5 yards. They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. Here's the handoff. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Well, we see the medical staff headed out there now. We're going to get a timeout as they handle an injured player. Not what you want to see so close to the end of the season. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. They're going play action. He's got it inside the 25. And he has them a 1st down, which they will tackle on the other side of this 2-minute warning. Trying the inside handoff to Pollard. And he works his way for a gain of 4. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. This throw is caught. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. Timeout taken by the defense. Their second. And they'll have just one left to burn now.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right cover.
And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Browns now lead by 10. Tony Pollard with the touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Now Brown on to send it away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now to throw. Gets it to him on the screen. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Jags working fast here, trying to get back to the line.
A gain of 12 yards. That's good for a
Throwing now. Into the hands of Duvernay. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Buys time, rolling right. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the pressure, boy, that sped that whole play up, didn't it? And it opened up a wide range of outcomes. A hurried throw almost ended up an interception. And that wasn't until after they almost brought him down behind the line for a sack.
To throw. He'll get this to ETN. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Here he is to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. Jags working fast here, trying to get back to the line. That one's incomplete in the end zone.
Well, the QB right there, he put it pretty close to the sidelines to begin with. And the defender, well, that was a nice job. Just simply put a hand out there and let me just encourage the ball to fall incomplete.
Hey, Lion!
Looking to throw it. Rolling left, buying some time. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Now a timeout called by the Jaguars. That's their 3rd. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. 3rd and 6 for them to figure out now.
Lisa 24.
Out of the gun, Lawrence. And as that one falls incomplete, all eyes shifting to the flag that was thrown. If it's defensive, we've got a 1st down here.
What are you doing? Can't we score?
Now Lawrence on the play fake. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. It's 2nd and goal. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
Lawrence working from the gun. Has it at the back of the end zone, but the throw carries him out of bounds. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Now a timeout's called. Cleveland using its 2nd. Still one more in their pocket to use. Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Lawrence now off the play action. Flushed out of the pocket. Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one, Kate. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back on track.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. That's incomplete on 4th down, and they'll turn over possession.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
The outcome's decided here, but we got a timeout with 2 seconds on the clock so they can think it over before their final play. All right, this is going to be the final play of the game. Oh, look at this. He's set up to throw. Finds a man right side. And they bring him down up at the 12-yard line. So the Browns will take this win home with them. And it was a game for fans of high-scoring football, wasn't it? I know Brock was enjoying seeing both of these offenses work, and really not a lot to dislike from either group. Just one side working at a slightly better clip than the other. That was the difference in the win. So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Heward, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a well-earned win for the Browns as we bid farewell from Jacksonville.